So I received another email from one of my commenters. He's pouring into this Kyle Rittenhouse and Dominick Black situation here and working hard on it. He sends me emails all the time. I appreciate it. I've learned quite a bit from him. Here's his latest email. He thinks that Binger really messed up again. It's not hard to believe that Binger would mess up. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dredd to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dredd Show.
All right, this is about Dominick Black, okay, and he's been charged under 948-62C, providing a dangerous weapon to a minor. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this email. It says, Binger messed up again. No shock there. Dominick Black is innocent. You did an enlightening video on how Kyle is not guilty of the misdemeanor gun possession charge. Okay, let's just be clear. My video presents my opinion that Kyle is not guilty of the misdemeanor gun possession charge. The court might not agree with me because, let's face it, it's not always about the X's and O's here. It's often about the politics, and we'll see. As Mark Richards said in one of the hearings, Binger only read the first part of the statute, whereas if he had read the whole thing, like the law requires, he would see it does not apply to Kyle. Yes, in that bail hearing, Binger clearly came in unprepared. Mark Richards presents a subsection, and Binger didn't even seem to know anything about it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad, but we move on. History is now repeating itself. Binger charged Dominick Black under statute 948-62C. We'll take a look at that in a minute. The same statute as Kyle, but a different subsection. That's right. Again, Binger seems to have been incapable of reading past the first few lines. If he had continued to read, he would have seen subsection 948-63C, and we'll look at that as well. I'm going to go ahead and hit a paragraph break here, just to kind of break this up a little bit. It is not a straw purchase if the person who buys a rifle is the lawful owner and keeps possession of the rifle. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if Binger is making a claim that this was a straw purchase. I think the whole idea is that Dominick Black let Kyle have possession of the rifle. He's not being charged with a straw purchase. In fact, I'm not even sure this is a straw purchase. The feds might charge Dominick Black with a straw purchase or lying on the 4473 form, but I'm not sure this qualifies as a straw purchase. It all comes down to what do we mean by purchase? Dominick took possession of the rifle, stored it at his residence, and did not give it to someone else as soon as the purchase was made. There are no rules preventing the legal owner of a rifle from allowing another person to use a rifle unless they are a prohibited person, which, like you said in your video, Kyle is not prohibited. There is no lawful reason why Dominick could not allow Kyle to use the AR-15 under Wisconsin law. Dominick Black is innocent. Free Dominick now. Okay. Obviously, he feels that Dominick is innocent. Frankly, so do I. And we'll just have to see how the courts rule. Please add the link to the Give, Send, Go fundraiser for Dominick as he desperately needs more donations. I've actually put this fundraiser link in all of my videos. So if you look at the descriptions for, well, not all, but almost all of my videos, the Give, Send, Go fundraiser for Dominick Black is in there. And so you shouldn't have too much trouble finding where to send money to Dominick if you want to. All right, let's take a look at 948-62C. So the 948-60 is this possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. Yeah, we get that. Section 1 here, or subsection 1, only defines what a dangerous weapon is. We don't need to worry about it. It is section 2. And A says, any person under 18 years of age who possesses or who is armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. All right. But there are stipulations here. B says, except as provided in paragraph C, any person who intentionally sells, loans, or gives a dangerous weapon to a person under 18 years of age is guilty of a Class E felony. Okay, so actually B is sort of what they are claiming that Dominick violated. And then C is another stipulation because Kyle discharged the weapon. So it says here, whoever violates paragraph B is guilty of a Class D felony if the person under 18 years of age under paragraph B discharges the firearm and the discharge causes death to himself, herself, or another. Now, clearly Kyle discharged the weapon and it caused the death of someone. Now, what if the death is a self-defense case? I don't know. I don't know how the courts will rule about that. And frankly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that if I allow somebody to use a weapon illegally, but they use the gun to defend themselves legally, I don't see how I could face further sanctions for that. That makes no sense. And that might be something that has to go to an appeals court. Okay, what about subsection 3? It says here, this section does not apply to a person under 18 years of age. So section 3 or subsection 3 is about what this section does not apply to. Let's take a look at C. This section does not apply to a person under 18 years of age who possesses or is armed with a firearm having a barrel 12 inches in length or longer and who is in compliance with subsections 29304 and 29593. Okay. Now, that's what applies to Kyle Rittenhouse himself, those charges, the minor possession charges that we talked about in many of these past videos. So we read on. This section does not apply to an adult who transfers a firearm having a barrel 12 inches in length or longer to a person under 18 years of age who is in compliance with subsections 29304 and 29593. And again, the whole question becomes, what does it mean to be in compliance with those subsections? Now, I have a couple of videos already on that, and my view of it is that Kyle is in compliance with those subsections. They either don't apply to him or he is in compliance with them, and therefore he cannot be charged under 948.62. This also means that Dominick Black cannot be charged under 948.62. So if the courts rule that Kyle Rittenhouse is not guilty of minor in possession because of these stipulations, then Dominick Black cannot be charged either. Now, what about this whole thing about a straw purchase? Again, as my friend says, it all comes down to how you define a straw purchase. But the state is not charging Dominick Black with a straw purchase. They're talking about a transfer of possession. So I'm not sure how the state will rule on that, but it does not look to me like a straw purchase at all. Okay, so here is the Dominick Black official donation site. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below like I always do. And they're trying to raise $25,000. They've raised $4,400 so far. There's a little discussion here about Dominick. There's a picture of him right here. He's wanting to be an airline pilot. And one of the things that gets lost in all this is that the case is so politically charged that people look at a kid like this and all they can think about is he grew up to be a Trumper, and which I'm not even sure he did. I'm just making a supposition here. But instead of just looking at it as Dominick Black is a human being that had no ill intent, he never meant to harm anybody. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not guilty of a crime, but people are looking upon him as sort of the embodiment of the evil that they see in their political opponents. But he's not. I mean, he's just a kid who just didn't have the nerve to tell Kyle he couldn't have the gun that night. Is that so bad? I mean, what has he done that is so evil? And the response will be, well, he showed up there as part of the white supremacist militia type thing, and they'll lay all this thing out. No, he was just an 18-year-old kid who saw an opportunity to go and help somebody. He went down there with this rifle. He let Kyle use the rifle because he just didn't have enough nerve to tell Kyle that he couldn't have it. And for that, he's going to spend, 12 years in prison? I mean, come on, give me a break. One of the things also is that with no prior record, I don't think he's facing much jail time, even if he's convicted. In fact, it would be a pretty easy argument to make that he shouldn't face any jail time. We're not trying to convince a person that their breaking of the law was wrong. I mean, he already knows that. It wasn't like he intended to break the law and didn't care. He doesn't have to have his feelings about the justice system turned around. He's already on board with law and order. He didn't hand the rifle to Kyle because he thought, yeah, this is against the law, but screw the law. I mean, that's not Dominick. He just didn't have the nerve to tell Kyle no. I cannot think of a single benefit of sending Dominick Black to jail. So even if convicted, I think that his lawyer is going to argue for probation. I think he'll probably win. So if you can donate some money to Dominick, I'd appreciate it. I'll put a link in the description below. Like my video, subscribe to my channel.